What's up guys, this is Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena Valor content, and today I've got some of the marksmen who sees little to no playtime. I'm talking about Thorne, who is mainly played in the jungle, but then not that much at all, so I'm going to put him on the duo lane to show his capabilities, because I really like that guy with the different types of ammunition and his kind of unique play style. So I've got some build for you and I've got some gameplay, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit the subscription button, leave a like, leave a comment, and enjoy today's gameplay. Have fun! Alright ladies and gentlemen, so here we go with some basic gear that all the AD carries love. We've got the Sancti, we've got Devil's Handshake, we got the Bow of Slaughter. I'm using Fenrir's as well as Muramasa to just optimize my damage output. And we've got Flashy Boots because this guy is someone who can't build cooldown reduction. That's just not working on him at all because it doesn't fit with his abilities. Therefore, most of the players are using Flashy Boots because cooldown reduction is turned into straight attack damage. And therefore, we're going to just increase that by wearing different boots than usual. If you tend to want him to play with a little bit more attack speed, of course you can always switch into the war boots. Consecutive wise, I'm going with my crit assassin build. That means we're focusing on critical chance and some attack speed. Therefore I'm going with atrocity for 1.6% increase, resulting in 16%. I'm going with Gorilla with movement speed and attack speed increase, and to penetrate armor better I have chosen Skewered 10 times level 3 to get 64 points of armor piercing, as well as some normal attack increase here with the second ability of that Arcana. Enchantment wise, I'm going with something which is pretty much standard on most of the AD carries nowadays. We're focusing on Endless Cycle, so this is like a really standard kind of enchantment tree. Have an enhanced restore as well as the Gunslinger, and I'm going with Axe of Sacrifice, and I'm going with the Blessing here because we do get some more crit chance coming from the equipment by 16% increase, and that is basically the build if you don't want to build something special. You got a lot of utility based from the ammunition types that he has in-game, therefore you don't really need Forest Wanderer, something super special coming from any other enchantments, which makes him quite versatile here. That's the build, nothing more to say about that. Let's check out some gameplay. And here we go. We've got a pretty standard layout on the opposing side. Didn't want to jump into the middle lane, but unfortunately I just walked right into this kind of new effect that you will find on the battlefield. And yeah, on the opposing side we've got Grog with Valheim paired for the duo lane. We do have Vera, so we've got some of the older heroes mixed in with some Bright. And there's also Wonder Woman in there, still a pretty good character. She's got great utility and great tankiness if she combines all of her abilities. And I am on the duo lane with Sephara, a mage hero that you don't see that often in the game anymore. She has been around quite a lot when she was released, but nowadays you barely see her, and she has been switching to support role, which I think suits her playstyle really well. She got this slow on her first ability, she got the stun on her second ability, and she is having this great stuff that comes from the ultimate being untargetable for herself, as well as preparing some much needed heals throughout the game, because healing is actually something that you just get from a couple of small resources. I should have flickered here for the Vera kill. I wasn't too sure, but then I missed the opportunity to go after her. That would probably have been a kill for me if I would have used the flicker, but yeah, with all the roaming and stuff going on, maybe this was the much more conservative playstyle, but then in the end maybe the healthy one. If Grog would have pulled me somewhere, you can immediately end up in the tower, and as the game is going to progress, you will see that just one single Grog hook can just ruin your entire day as a squishy character such as I am, or Sephara is, for example. Butterfly is going to have a great impact on the game here, and as you can see, nowadays, after I played Thorne a little bit and after I've been watching some videos, I'm going for the purple ammunition. That's the one that's increasing your damage, and I'm just throwing in a couple of yellowish ones in order to perform stunts or to get the slow effect, which is of course minor. I'm not using it to the full effect because I'm just using it once in my ammunition layout, but then I think it works quite fine. But this is still some kind of like field testing Thorne. As I said, he's not played that often and I don't play him that often, so I'm kind of newish to the character, but I still love the concept about this. As I said in the intro, I think he's pretty cool, and it's a shame that you just rarely see him. But then on the other hand, I think most of the people playing this game underestimate his powers because they just don't know what to do against him or what he is capable of doing, and I think that really works in his favor. So yeah, again, here we go with the double yellow rune. That's going to cause a stun. If you mix in the blue runes, you get not only a stun, but it's going to be some kind of area of effect stun, affecting enemies standing next to the target that you will initially hit. So great stuff here. You've got great crowd control on a marksman who packs a punch if you are stacking up his abilities and his equipment quite nicely. So we're going for the tower, but as you can see, the tower is shielded, therefore we're not going to deal that much damage, and we'd rather decide to go roaming and see what Alistair is doing down there. I'm focusing on the ammunition first to increase the output. I think it's the better choice because you basically get an improvement. Here we go, and that's the stuff that I was talking about. You can't do anything against it. If he is catching you and he's got ult ready, he's got every tool to wreck your day, and he played that quite well. The hook connected and I was soaking right into the tower, and I didn't have any chance with Vera standing next to him on being able to flicker away or just use any of my abilities. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I was trying to use my second ability. That's like the only ability that you have that is actually helping you in order to get some range between you and the enemies or to follow up. That's unfortunately the stuff that he has. He's not the most quick character in the game because he's just having this one little ability, and the cooldown is actually not that great. So you need to always think, is that a moment where you can follow up for a kill, for example, or will you need it to back off and use it more as a safety tool instead of an engage tool? But of course, it's the stuff that triggers the extra abilities on your shot. So therefore, it's always some kind of difficult decision to make if it is valuable enough. But yeah, I guess you guys are going to figure it out. Every single time I see that stuff is going on or action is happening in the middle lane, I try to free my lane by shoving minions into the enemy's tower. I mean, it's a game that is about destroying towers, and now we have scored the second one, and the enemy has just been hitting one single tower so far. So here we go. Got a lot of enemies fighting around. I wanted to use my flicker here in order to get Grog, and it worked out pretty well. And now I need to get my ass back to safety and to work in my favor. But Bright is so greedy. He's following up with all his abilities, and that's just not some game that he can win against 4 people following him with a full butterfly, with a Sephara with an Alistair, who is by far the control mage. If crowd control has an image, that would be the face of this Alistair. So I'm now loading stuff into my cannon. You could see that the ult is actually doing a good amount of damage right now. 1/3 of Valheim being snacked by the ult, and I start to crit with 1.2k damage right now. Usually I don't really steal stuff from the jungle, but in this case I just wanted to stack up my items as quickly as possible, because as a marksman the tendency goes towards itemization. So the more items you have, the better your output will be. That goes for every single character in the game, of course, but I just have the feeling that AD carries just rely a little bit more on this extra stuff that you do get from the items. And now we've got the Devil Handshake, and you will see that there's a great increase in attack damage right now, or attack speed, but of course it's linked. So the faster you attack, the more damage you will deal. And of course now we do have even more ways to get some crit stuff going on. Now you can see that I used my abilities. If not for Vera, I would have just been sidestepping this Bright with ease. So what I did was I was loading yellow bullets into my gun. That would apply a slow-on effect on Bright every single time I used it, and that would just have given me the chance to just back to safety and kill him in the meantime. That was bad. Like, yeah, I'm replying just oops, sorry to my team, because that was actually completely blinded, going straight into the midst of the enemies. But Butterfly is just so stacked right now. It's 25 versus 11. I'm on a measly 4-4. It's not the greatest stuff that I have produced in the long run with him, but all in all, I'm playing this guy so little that I tend to upload every single video that I do get with at least an okayish result. So of course I know that there are better Thorne players out there than I am, but this is not the point. I just want to show you some rare stuff, and I think there are not that many videos featuring Bright here, which is unfortunate. He's pretty cool. I mean, in terms of style, he's not my most favorable character. I think this kind of schoolboy style isn't really my cup of tea, but all in all, I'm fine with it. And look at the damage. The damage was so good that I completely wrecked the front line coming from the minions. And again, it's this Grag hook. The problem with Grag is he misses 9 out of 10 hooks, but the 10th hook is completely going to destroy you, and that's why this character is so good in the right hands. If you can increase your rate of hooking enemies, you will always have the upper hand, because you can just create situations where you will break this kind of 4v4, 3v3 moments. Because then you will have numbers in like the shorter distances, so that, for example, a Wonder Woman is able to work towards the enemies instead of just hanging around trying to find some open space to go in with her abilities, while losing, of course, health while doing so. So Grag is really good support. He always has been, and I guess he always will, because he just has a great tankiness. That's the most important thing on tanks like him. He's got a great ult, and good for us, his ability number 1 is not the stuff that deals the most damage, because most of the Grags, of course, build their Grags on tankiness and utility. Because if you guys remember, a couple of months ago, there was this kind of build where Grag was going full damage, like full mage, and that was, I think, caught many people by surprise, because it was just so powerful. And that's game. It can be as easy as that. Okay, then Butterfly was super soaked with kills. I think their Bright didn't play the best game. I've just seen in the mid-game results when the table came up that he did not even upgrade his jungle item to the fullest. We're going to check out if that's the case right now, but yes, I hope I will spread some love for Thorne, because I think he's actually a really good AD carry that is underestimated by many other players. There we go, 7-7, so I wasn't the worst. That's always good. 2.9 something. Here we go. 20 damage. Damage taken wasn't that bad with 14. And yeah, that was the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So check out again for more.